Good morning, bookworms and YouTubers. Uh, this is Josh here at Bookworm at Common Sense, and as promised, today's topic is about Reiki. And I know, you've heard me mention this a few times, so you're wondering, you're curious, you're bubbling over with ferocious animosity, wondering, and just, you wanna know. Well, I'm gonna break it down for you. I have a document I put together, sometime last year, in the August-September time frame, for a class I did. I know, me teach. So, I'm going to use the document on my computer, of course, because I'm out of ink, to help me stay on track and on point. Yeah, I know. Being on point is always good. So, first and foremost, what is Reiki? Well, Reiki is a Japanese energy healing technique which promotes healing through deep relaxation. Reiki is often and should be considered at this point a complementary healthcare treatment. So you're saying, well, you said energy healing technique. Well, what exactly does that mean? Well, each person has a supply of energy, or even life force energy. This energy is often referred to as ki in Japan, prana in India, and ki in China. I know, I butchered that last one. I'm not very good at pronouncing Chinese words. Modern science calls it the biofield energy, or even bioelectric field. It's what we call our aura. Yeah. The bioenergy field. Reiki helps to replenish this energy. So, you may be asking yourself, or even me at this point, well, where does this energy come from for Reiki? Well, the energy comes from the source of all things. Most Reiki practitioners that I know call it Daiichi Nyorai, which is, if I remember correctly, the great healing Buddha, or the great healing aspect of the Sun Buddha. I often get those two somewhat confused. So, yeah. So it comes from the source of all things, or the universe, however you wish to say it. So you may be asking, do all healers use Reiki? The answer is no. There are many, many forms of energy healing which are available. You have auric healing, pranic healing. My mind is escaping me at the moment because I didn't write all of these down. Auric healing, pranic healing, whatever. You get the picture. There are many, many, many forms of energy healing other than Reiki, which are available to those who are trained in them. I myself have experience with auric healing and Reiki, and using magic for healing. I know. Magic can be used for healing, as I'm a witch. welcome to the 21st century. Herbology, even, when used in a medicinal aspect, could be considered a form of energy healing, as since energy is neither created nor destroyed but only transferred. But I won't even touch that. So I'm going to move on. Can anyone practice Reiki? The answer is yes, anyone can practice it. However, there's one small minor detail. All practitioners must have been attuned to Reiki in order to practice it. That means a teacher or Reiki master must help you raise your vibrational rate to such an extent that it will bridge the gap, well, not really bridge the gap, between you and the divine, because you are divine and the divine is in you, but bridge the gap between you and the healing energy or aspect of the Sun Buddha in order to use this particular form of divine energy. You may be asking, what is an attunement? In the simplest form, attunement is the passing of the ability to practice Reiki from master to student. And how are these done? Well, attunement should always be performed in person between master and student. Attunement should never be performed in the following ways: self-attunement, dissonance attunement, attunement by tape or CD or book only study, as while they may confer the ability, they are only limited in their capacity to practice, because the abilities from these types of attunements often slowly fade away over time, whereas a traditional attunement, it does not do so. However, there was one organization that put out a DVD series. In fact, I think it may even be the International Center for Reiki Training. I'll have to double check on that one. If you're interested in knowing the answer, leave a comment. But anyways, in this particular DVD, it has particular instructions, and all of the magical practitioners I know who also happen to be Reiki practitioners have examined this particular DVD and have said that if the instructions were followed to the T, the ability would probably last, as long as all the directions were followed. That probably is kind of strained, but of the forms that I've listed should not be used just to attune. It would probably be the best. This particular DVD would probably be the best option if you're not going to go the traditional route. So you might be asking, so there's a master teacher and a student dynamic, so if anyone can practice, are there classes? Yes, of course there are. There are classes available to those that are willing and wishing to learn to practice Reiki. Additionally, there are advanced and master level classes to those who qualify, who want to pursue them. So to answer your question, yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the knowledge or ability to do so myself. the biggest question I've got, and I know that I've seen, is Reiki a religion? No, Reiki is not a religion. However, Reiki is spiritual in nature. Reiki is not a religion. It does not prescribe to any specific deity, and nor was it meant to. Like I said, while most call to Dainichi Nirai, you don't have to. It's optional. You may be wondering if the medical community has responded to Reiki. Um, they have. Reiki is growing in popularity with the medical community. In fact, if I can reach it, oops, wrong briefcase. No, maybe it is the right briefcase. Yes. Um, I have a book, The Healing Power of Reiki, forward by Dr. Muhammad Siaz. The book is written by Miss Raven Keys, who is a Reiki practitioner. I have not finished the book, however, it explains her Reiki practice and how she practices, and Dr. Oz shares his experience with Reiki in the operating room. So yes, it's a growing part of the holistic healthcare system that we should be practicing. In fact, modern medicine is, while it's helpful, may often do more harm than good. I'm of the opinion we need to get back to the holistic healing. Not this, oh, I guess it's this, or I think it's this, or here, take this, see if it does anything good for you. But yeah, Reiki is practiced in over 800 hospitals across the United States as part of their standard hospital care. Wow. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Over 800 hospitals. So you may be asking, what is Reiki like? Or a Reiki session like? Reiki sessions are typically done with the client laying fully clothed on a massage table or Reiki table. Sessions vary in length, but are typically somewhere between a half hour and a whole hour. A practitioner may or may not place their hands on the client with the client's permission. The Reiki energy can be passed both by touching or at a distance. One strong word of caution, should you run into any particular Reiki practitioners, Reiki should never, ever be used in such a way as to where the practitioner would touch any private areas. Private areas should always be hands off, and the client should always be fully clothed. I mean, sure, there are some exceptions for lovers at home when one lover practices Reiki, but those are extreme exceptions. Like I said, Reiki can be done hands off, can be done over miles away if you know the correct techniques. I mean, I could use Reiki right now and send it to anyone as long as I have enough accurate of a description, like name, location, and stuff like that. Don't really need to know the sex, but don't really need to know the age. But name, location, age helps in a limiter, and maybe, say it's a friend of so-and-so's, that narrows it down, because how many John Smiths do you know? Let's say you know 3. If you wanted to send Reiki, halfway across the world to one of these three, and you want to narrow it down, you would want enough specific identifiers so that Reiki goes to that specific person. Simple enough, right? So you may be asking, are there benefits to Reiki? I would say yes, from my own practice and using it on myself and visiting Reiki shares. There are many benefits. Among those are muscle relaxation and quickening of the healing process. Additionally, practitioners and clients both have reported help with stress, headaches, insomnia, upset stomach, sprains, anger, fear, worry, sadness, and other minor conditions or unhealthy feelings. Miraculous results have also occasionally been reported. I've My master teacher has some great, wonderful stories of what he's done with Reiki, but they're not mine. I can't share them with you. I myself have had some interesting experiences, and for the client's privacy, I cannot share those. But you know, there's always more to learn. If you have any questions, leave a comment. And on the last note about Reiki, I mentioned a Reiki share. A Reiki share is when multiple Reiki practitioners get in a particular area, which raises the vibrational rate of the entire affected area or area of effect, so that anyone inside that area can practice Reiki. And depending on the practitioner's level, or what level of Reiki they are practicing at the time. I mean, I'm a Karuna Reiki master, Rainbow Reiki 2 practitioner, and so I know a lot about Reiki. I have different capacities at which I can operate within Reiki, but depending on the levels, it's not a strict 1+1, or one practitioner can affect two non-practitioners in such a way that they'll be able to practice within the presence of that practitioner. It's not like that. It's more like a log 10 or log 20 or log 40. Whatever. So you can tell I'm not really good at my log bases as I used to be, but it's a quantifying effect. Exponential, maybe. That would probably be better, easier to understand. It's an exponential effect, which compounds with each new practitioner. So let's say you're a Reiki 1. Well, you come to a Reiki share, I'm there. Wow. You and I can probably do, I don't know, 5 to 10 people, just the two of us. Imagine if there were 3 or 4 or 5 Reiki masters in an area. Pretty much anyone within that area should theoretically be able to use Reiki, because the vibrational rate of the area would be so high that anyone could tap into the energy fairly easily. And while Reiki feels like in the palm of the hands, the other forms of energy healing, or even magic or energy work, it isn't. I mean, creating a little ball of energy is one thing, but to send out Reiki is yet another. They're two completely different energies, and once you become intimately familiar with them, you would be able to distinguish between your own personal energy, or your own personal energy combined with that of elements around you in the world or universe. I mean, or even combining that with Reiki. I mean, you can get very different feels of energy. Um, you know, your hands will get warm, tingly, or sometimes numb or cold. Each person has their own different reaction to different forms of energy work, or even healing. Or, like me, mine typically get warm when I practice Reiki, but, they have been cold, and energy's been, like, literally sucked out of them. Like going into a void or a black hole. Um, But enough of those stories. I've taken up 20 minutes of your time already. Um, and I'm looking forward to doing that video this Friday on the book I'm reading. With school and work, I've been very tired lately. I may or may not have to push that book review out to Saturday. Don't really want to hurt you guys' feelings, but it may be necessary, especially since it's already 1 a.m. here, and I've got to work tomorrow, so I probably won't get any reading done tonight, but I'm a decent reader. I mean, I read 5 or 6 chapters in one night, and there's only 24 chapters, and that night was only a 2-hour night. I mean, imagine what if I actually sat down and read it. If you have any questions, comments, or want to make general conversation, leave a comment. And do subscribe. I know you like my videos. That they're great, they're wonderful. I try to make them informative. But, yeah, leave me a comment. Hope you like my work, and do subscribe. I look forward to seeing you. Good night, bookworms.